I was thinking about drinking. I didn't know that. I don't know if Thursday's like is that a okay day to drink, you think?
I mean, in college, everyone called it Thirsty Thursday, but, we're not in college anymore.
Yeah, I know.
But,
like, I say that to myself. I'm like,
I still go by the rules of Thirsty Thursday for sure. That's like the first acceptable day for me to drink. I will still drink on the other days of the week, but that's the day that I feel not as bad about drinking.
Okay.
Like during a weekday.
But when you drink, though, does it hinder your work the next day? Because we both work at home. So
Yeah, no, 100%. And I've said this before, like, and this might be blasphemy that I'm saying this right now, but I think it's more difficult, like, because I've done it. Like I used to work on a boat and everything.
Right.
I would much rather have a job where I had to go to the office, because then I know I have to be like productive and like do something rather than being at home where I can just be like, fuck it, I don't feel like working. I'm just going to lay in bed.
No,
This time of year, I don't
fair.
have that option because I'm in busy season,
Yeah.
but it definitely hinders it. So that's why, like, when I do drink during the week, like, I keep it at a minimum. Like, I don't go all out anymore. Like, I'll have a glass or two of wine, get feeling pretty good. But
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I don't know. When the season gets warmer, like working at home, like it gets way harder, like in general. Like today, it was really hard. Like I just wanted to be outside. I took Pocky for a walk. Pocky's our dog. And took him for a walk. I didn't want to come back in.
Yeah.
And I was just like, this fucking sucks. Like, I have to be stuck inside all day. Like, it kind of blows. I did put out this tweet earlier, and I wanted your opinion because a lot of people have already put their opinion on it. I just put it out like an hour ago. And I said that Morgan Wallen and Luke Combs saved country music. And the reason why I said that is because the younger generation is basically controls music now, because anything that goes on social media that says it's bad, good, whatever, like go listen to this, like it's all through social media. Like I catch myself, like even artists who I've maybe liked in the past, like for instance, Kanye West, for example, like if he's supposed to drop an album tonight, if I see in the morning, like on Twitter saying it's really bad, I might not listen to it. So I think with country music, when in high school for us, I guess, so like 9 years ago, like before Luke Combs and Morgan Wallen, it felt like country music was kind of dying in a sense because there wasn't that star power. There was no that guy. Jason Aldean maybe, but he was falling off.
But I see where you're coming from for sure. Because it's like the person I immediately think to is like Luke Bryan. Used to love Luke Bryan when I was younger, but like now I kind of hate him.
Yeah.
Like I hate all of his music now. Like I even hate the shit I used to love.
Yeah.
I'd say Jason Aldean is somewhat on that track as well. Like, used to love all his stuff. Like, I don't hate him as much as I do Luke Bryan.
It's
but
not the same. It's not modernized.
Exactly.
Right?
Like, and that's why I think to your point, like Morgan Wallen, they make music for everybody that like everyone can enjoy. It's not like it's like where it's either kids really like it or like older people like it or like that like our age people like it or whatever. Like it doesn't have like an age to it. So like, and it's just good music.
Exactly. And I feel like it's incorporating other genres. Like it's not just incorporating country. Like it has rap to it. It has pop to it. Like,
and that's the thing is people are gonna true country fans are gonna hate on that and say, well, it's not real country. That's why everybody likes it or whatever.
Yeah.
But
it's bringing more country fans, right? So it's getting people like for example, like there was a ton of people that we know that hate country music that I know listen to it now because of those two, and then it opens them up to the other people, and it's like for Zach Bryan or like those people like saying like, oh, I actually like country music. So like I feel like it's changed. Somebody said, do you actually think that's a hot take? And I'm like, yeah, kind of, just because of like the significance of them coming into country at the time where it was dying, and it was dying. Like I will stand by that until the day that I died, that like I wasn't listening to it consistently until they came along, and then more people came.
Yeah, no, I mean, thank God they're still making new music, because I remember like that first time when we moved in together, like we were just like, what the fuck? Like there's just no
literally
music.
the first thing.
The only person, it was like Dustin Lynch, I think, dropped an album, and that's like all we listened to all summer.
Yes.
Like the rest of the country music was just irrelevant, and then finally it was like Luke Combs just started going like bang for bang, like dropping album after album, and it's just like that's pretty much my whole country playlist. Well, Zach Bryan, of course, which I'm
starting to like him. I've came around a little bit. I started listening to it a little bit. I understand it now. Like I'm starting to. It's kind of like I guess fine wine, like the more that I listen to it, like the more that I start to understand and like it. So the older the music gets to me, I guess, I'm starting to like it. But
And I feel like you don't like super like slow stuff, and that's he started to make more like upbeat stuff. Like it's he's got a wide variety, and me and Sydney are actually going to see him next Friday.
Oh really? Next Friday?
Next Friday.
Where's it at?
Newark, Delaware. We're watching him at the Prudential Center.
Oh, nice.
The Devils hockey stadium.
No, that's in Delaware?
Yeah.
The New Jersey Devils, they play in Delaware?
Yep. No, sorry. New York, New Jersey. My bad.
So it's in Newark, New Jersey.
Yes.
Okay.
Because there's a Newark, Delaware, and there's a Newark, New Jersey. And Newark, Delaware is the one I know more, but he's performing in Newark, New Jersey.
Well, to be fair, New Jersey and Delaware, they're not real. Like those two states are just like random. Yeah. Like they're just the in between for New York and Maryland.
Honestly, yeah. And I have a lot of friends from people I went to college with that I consider friends that are from New Jersey, and if they watch this, they're gonna hate that you just said that because in New Jersey they have their own north, south. There's no central. There's no central Jersey.
And like if they're in South New Jersey, they're actually from Philly. You know, like they claim they're from Philly. But yeah, who's better though, Morgan or Luke?
Oh,
like don't take any like recency bias because Morgan's last album was probably the best country album in like the last 10 years.
Yeah,
Which I guess makes a point.
Because of my taste, I guess, because I like the Zach Bryans and stuff like that, I think Luke Combs is closer to that. So I would say my preference is probably Luke Combs, but man, they literally are like jumping each other every other week. It feels like it's for 1 and 2. Like,
yeah, for sure. It feels like 1 week I'm on Morgan, the next week I'm on Luke Combs. Like it just switches every single week. Yeah. You have any hot takes for this week? Because that one was mine.
Yeah. So I mean,
anything that's on your mind?
I don't know. I just talked about this with my girlfriend this past weekend because I saw someone post a Snap story about it, and you might understand what I'm talking about. But the people that are like not me doing something super basic, but like I want you to see it on my Snapchat story. Like, have you ever seen those people?
No.
That like they start the caption with saying like not me doing something, and it's just like not. It's just
I get what you're saying. So like they're actually doing something cringy, but they're saying, "Oh, not me." I get it. I get it. That's really weird. Yeah, really weird. Snapchat's a weird place in general.
It is, and I feel like it's just people that like want attention, but it's just like they have to put the not me. So it's like, but so they can still post a Snapchat story sort of thing, and it's so cringy to me for some reason.
Remember when people used to put including myself, I used to put a whole concert on my Snapchat story. We were really cringe for that.
Yeah.
That was pretty bad. That, and I also thought I saw a tweet the other day saying like, what's the most cringeworthy thing that was popular at the time? And it has to be what were they called? Not moccasins, Sperry's. It was Sperry's and socks.
Yep.
That was the most cringeworthy thing that we've ever done, is wearing high socks with Sperry's and shorts. I mean, it's okay if you're wearing jeans, but like shorts. And what's funny is I never knew that was weird until I went to college and my roommate Noah literally shit on me like for a week until I wouldn't wear it anymore. He's like, "You look like an idiot."
Wow.
I'm like, he's like, "We don't do that around here." And I'm like, "Okay." And I didn't do it anymore. And then I look back at pictures and I'm like, "Holy shit."
Everyone used to do it, at least from where we came from. I kept wearing Sperry's, but I didn't wear socks with them anymore.
That's fair.
So
that's how they're supposed to be worn.
I think, or like no show socks or something like that. Yeah. Like definitely not high socks, especially not Nike like dry fit long socks anymore. That's for sure.
Do you wear socks with your Hey Dudes?
So when they were freshly like brand new, no, I didn't at all. But now that they're kind of old and crusty, I do.
Yeah,
but I just only ankle socks though. I don't typically, especially if I'm wearing shorts, like no shot.
Yeah, shorts, no. But I like the feeling with like jeans on. Like I feel like my whole ankle's covered, so like it doesn't feel like somebody can see the no-show socks. You know what I'm saying? Because that's kind of embarrassing. Like no-show is for no-show, but then if they are showing, it's like, oh, you're wearing ankle socks. That's fucking weird.
Yeah.
Like
no, I feel that.
Definitely weird how the generations have changed. So anyway, welcome to the Off Script podcast. So what we want to do, because the NFL offseason is honestly fucking really boring. So it's about to heat up here soon with free agency and all of that stuff. And we could sit here and discuss, who we think is going to go where, which we will, but we're going to turn this episode into a game show. So this entire show, because a lot of people probably don't even know who we are at this point, this is an opportunity for you guys to actually know who we are and the things that we like and the things that we might disagree on in life in general. And it's also an opportunity to have fun with it. I'm super excited for this one. And at first, we're going to do NFL news, and then we're going to get into our games. So a couple things I did want to talk about is true or false, the Buffalo Bills are going to regress next year. Are they going to have the biggest regression next year? So are the Buffalo Bills going to have the biggest regression in 2023 or 2024?
After everything that's happened this past week, it's hard to say no. It really is. They've lost so many key players on their team, and especially it's on the defensive side. And we saw what happened when they went down with injuries.
Right.
One thing is they will have Matt Milano back, which I think makes a ton of difference, a huge difference on that. But to lose two of your starting defensive backs in 1 week, it's hard to say that they are not going to have a regression. Are they going to have the biggest? I'm not sure. I can't think of anyone else that might regress
They
more.
were so good. They were the 2 seed. So they have it's hard to get.
They have a lot of room to fall. So
yeah.
I think I'm confident saying that yes, they probably will have the biggest regression. I still think they're going to be a playoff team for sure. I think if they keep playing the ball that they did towards the end of the year, they get back Matt Milano and stuff like that, they're going to be a playoff team still, in my opinion, at this point on March 7th.
We got a long way to go.
We still got 5 months before we see a preseason game.
But some of the people that they lost, I have a whole list here. So they released Tre'Davious White, Jordan Poyer, Mitch Morse, Dante Hardy, Ciaran Neal, and Naheem Hines. Von Miller and Rasul Douglas agreed to adjust their contracts for cap relief. They signed Mitchell Trubisky, a great move in my opinion. He was such a good fit in Buffalo. I don't know why. And he made, just being the backup to Josh Allen, got him a starting job in the NFL, which is hilarious. They did re-sign Taylor Rapp to a 3-year deal, $14 million. Re-signed guard David Edwards, re-signed punter Matt Hack. And they are still $9 million over the cap this year. So they are definitely going to regress. I think it's going to be bigger than what a lot of people think. I'm not going to sit here and say that they're not going to make the playoffs just because, like you said, it's March 7th. We have no idea what's going to happen in free agency. The cap can be manipulated in a lot of ways, but this proves that the salary cap is fully real. They gave and what ruined them all is when they gave Von Miller a 6-year contract when he was 33 years old. I have no idea why they did that. I think they were desperate. It was the year after they lost to the Chiefs again, and they were like, we need that dominant force, and Von Miller just had one of his greatest seasons with the Rams, and I don't see another team that will regress more than them just because they've given out so many bad contracts. They had so many expiring contracts with good players too, like Jordan Poyer and with Tre'Davious White, and he's had bad injury history as well. So I don't know who else could have a worse regression than Buffalo. And I would feel more confident if they made all these moves and they finally got under the cap and they had $20 million in salary cap, but being $9 million over the cap is completely wild, making all of those moves. And they were staples in Buffalo too. It wasn't just players that were just good. Buffalo was known for those defensive guys.
Yeah, no, Tre'Davious White, Jordan Poyer, two people that stick off stand off for sure. Like you said, Tre'Davious White has had some injury issues, but when he's on the field, I'd put him in my top 10 cornerbacks for sure. Maybe even top 6 or 7.
When he's fully healthy.
He's fully healthy, for sure. Yeah. And then even Mitch Morris on the offensive side of the ball, the center is normally your go-to guy. He's the captain of the offensive line essentially. Right. So that's a huge loss in itself. And then they had to restructure Von Miller and Rasul Douglas, which pushes cap more into the future as well. So that Von Miller contract is going to haunt them for years and years and years to come. Yeah, I don't know like you said, I think they were just looking for that guy to hopefully help them get over the hump, and it did not work out for him.
Right, exactly. Some other NFL news: Jason Kelce retired. I don't know if you watched it. very sad. I mean, for like the first 5 minutes of the entire thing, he could not keep himself together. Like he was like, this is going to take a minute, and just wept forever. And like, you saw Travis Kelce crying, you saw the mom crying, the wife. Like it was just it was a heartwarming moment, just because I've never seen a center get so much attention as Jason Kelce. He definitely not only changed the game inside of football, but also he made it a highlight for the offensive lineman in a way, and brought personality to the NFL. So he was so important in that way. And then creating new heights with Travis Kelce was one of the biggest. I mean, they started the trend of athletes creating podcasts. Like they were the first two to start it. So they, in my opinion, they started that whole wave. You see Cam Newton doing it, you see Paul George doing it, you see like every single athlete that and the company that I work for, actually, I can't say who it is, but there is an NFL player involved in that company. And he's creating something right now where basically he's shouting out like all of these athletes, podcasts and brands. And I started to figure out like ton of athletes that like you might not think about like have a podcast. And I'm just like, I never knew that they had podcasts. Like it's just everywhere now. So my question is Jason Kelce's retirement speech the greatest of all time?
Strictly retirement speeches.
There's a lot.
I mean, this might, and I can't think of any other ones that I'm like, that wow me like that. And like, I like, even though I can say, I will say this now, like now that Jason Kelce is officially retired, he's no longer a Philadelphia Eagle, he's probably in my top 5 favorite players of all time.
Yeah.
Just likability, like the way he played the game of football, like, and this, like I said, this might just be because of the bias and everything like that, but like watching that documentary on him about Kelce and like how much he really went through to play another year, like everything he did, and just a leader that he was for that team, like I'm easily saying he's in my top 5 just most likable players of all time.
Yeah.
Or like favorite players of all time, really.
Yeah, honestly, especially later in his career when his personality started to come out even more.
Yeah, and he just like I hate to like connect it to this, but like he didn't have any like Travis Kelce moments where it's like, are you really that much of a dickhead or like something like that? Like it was always about the team or something like that. And even like had it to Super Bowl parade, like when he dressed up and like it wasn't him trying to make it about him or whatever. He was trying to be funny and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
Yeah, he's just it's sad to see somebody like that walk away. Am I all that sad? Not really. Being a Washington Commanders fan.
Yeah,
but
like as a player, like no, the personality, yes.
Yeah.
He was a great player for a long time, but like, like there were great ones. Like when Marshall Yonder retired, like I was really upset about it, but I got past it fairly quickly compared to Ray Lewis or Ed Reed. And that sucks because they're such important positions and they get hit more than any other player on the field. And honestly, like it's one of the most important positions on the field, especially being a center. But some of the highlights from it, why I asked that question, is Jason Kelce asked Nick Foles' wife if he could mention Nick's dick in his retirement speech, and she said yes. And I don't know if you saw the clip, but he actually mentioned Nick's dick. He said that Nick had the biggest dick in the world to go up to the head coach. Who was it at the time?
Doug Peterson.
Doug Peterson, yeah. Went up to Doug Peterson and said, I want to run the Philly special. And he said they had a huge stick for that. Also, he had his athletic trainer of 13 years tape him up one more time just because his athletic trainer could not make his final game because he was in chemotherapy. So he went through a whole like pregame routine, like he was in like the cutoff, like really cool moment, like for him to do that for him.
Yeah, no, that's speaking on the first thing. I mean, Big Dick Nick. That's what everyone was calling him. Yeah. I mean, it does take quite the balls to call that sort of play. It was right before halftime, wasn't it?
Yeah,
and basically like changed the momentum of that entire game. I feel like just put
won
it all
them
in the
that
Eagles.
Game, I would say.
Yeah, put all the momentum in the Eagles on the Eagles side going into halftime, and just completely swing that game pretty much. The second part was just that's the type of stuff that gives you chills almost. Like I saw the picture, like the athletic trainer was like kissing Jason Kelce on the cheek because it showed how much it meant to him that like he would do that for him. And there's not a lot of players that would do that, to be honest. And I never saw Jason Kelce post anything about it or anything like that. Like he's not looking for that sort of fame. And it's just it's awesome to see him get that sort of fame though, because I feel like, especially towards the end of his career, he was doing stuff like this all the time.
Right.
So I'm glad we got to see some of that, and like that one just right there, like I said, that's That's why we love sports. That's why we love football. Like it's stories like that. So yeah, it's sad to see a personality like that.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to walk away from the game.
I think he's going to go on television.
I think so. I think so.
And
of
plus,
course,
New Heights is making millions in itself, so they're set for life in general.
That's you watched the Kelce podcast, right? Or the Kelce documentary.
Yeah.
I almost feel like he's the type of guy that like just kind of wants to ride off into the sunset almost. Like he'll keep doing new heights and everything, but like I believe that he's got like a ranch and shit like that. Like he wants to do all these side quests now. Pretty much. I don't think he's someone that wants to stay into the fame or anything like that. It's like he was going to enjoy time with his family. He's going to work on his ranch and just all the other random shit.
His wife was concerned about him because he was doing so many things. And then she was really glad that they found New Heights because he feels like he has a purpose after football. And that's such a cool thing too. Like that's easier to walk away from the game when you're like, well, I have New Heights. I get to talk football every single week. I get to hang out with my brother every single week. Like it definitely made it easier. And then the last part of the NFL news for the week is the Cowboys exercised fifth-year option on Micah Parsons, but there was a twist. They actually designated him to be a defensive end rather than a linebacker, which means he loses $3 million on his fifth-year option. Mike, first of all, kind of fucked up, but especially to your best player. But for you personally, would that change your mind going into your fifth year, like thinking about re-signing with the team? Like, would you have an attitude towards the team because of that? Or feel some type of way going into negotiations? Like you're going to give me that $3 million that you said you'd leave out?
Yeah, I think see, Micah Parsons, as much as he like talks and stuff like that, like I feel like he's kind of he kind of has like an old school mindset of like he just loves playing the game of football. Yeah. So like I don't think mentally, like I'm sure his agent is up in arms about it for sure or something like that, but I don't think that's something that's really going to affect him. The man's going to get paid a shit ton of money when he comes around to this contract. Right. So like the $3 million, yes, is a lot of money, but like as long as he doesn't even have to stay healthy, let's be honest, this whole year, like he's gonna get paid, he's gonna get the bag. But it does I feel like it does put in the back of your mind, like, wow, they really just did that to me.
Yeah, exactly.
Them designating him as a defensive end, does that save them money for this year?
Yeah, next year. So when they go into the fifth-year option, I don't think it saves them any money next year. Gotcha. That's what I was going to get into too. Like I did put here, I said absolutely when I was writing this up. I was like, yeah, I'd be pissed off. But also at the same time, like he's not going to step on the field on that fifth-year option anyway. He'll hold out. Like I don't think it's that big of a deal. I think it's like a save. I don't even know why they do that because they're going to give him I guess that's what I'm confused about, because they're going to give him a big time contract no matter what before his fifth year, and he's not going to play without it even if he got that extra $3 million. So I'm kind of confused in general why they would do that and make a huge story out of it. Like now it's just a big story for all of Dallas. So I'm really confused by it. All right. So last thing is NFL Network's Good Morning Football, I knew this would touch you a little bit, is officially ending kind of. Kyle Brandt came out today and kind of set the record straight that after 7 years of the show, they are moving west. He did not say if they were going to actually stay on the show. It just said the show was going west. I don't think Kyle Brandt and all those, I think it's going to be completely new. They also are going off the air for 4 months until the NFL season comes around, which makes sense because there's nothing really to talk about except for free agency. Are you upset by it, first of all? Sorry for your loss.
Yeah, see, I am upset about it because I think it's going to be a totally different show. Like it's not going to have the same vibe. Something about them being in New York City, like, kind of just made it even better. Like,
yeah. And now it's going to be West, or it's going to be whatever Pacific time. Is that what it's called? God, that's bad.
Yeah, that's what really the West. Yeah, because they're going to LA, aren't they?
Yeah, they're going to LA. But, well, what sucks about that is the whole reason why NFL Network, I think, moved most of their shows to the East Coast was because of the time. Yeah. They were having to get up at like 3 or 4 in the morning to accommodate for Eastern Standard Time. And it killed a lot of the shows because a lot of the talent wanted to leave and go to the East Coast because of it. But I knew you were a big fan of it.
Yeah. So that's, I saw that they're saying they're going dark on March 29th. I think that's like the phrase that they're using for it. And I saw I saw after it came out, I think it was 2 days ago, they said this going dark. Like Kyle Brandt, he tweeted saying like Good Morning Football is not ending, but like unless of those four, and I'll be honest, like I miss Kay Adams on the show, I miss Nate Burleson on the show, but like the four that they have right now like are still great. It's still an enjoyable show. Kyle Brandt, Peter Schrager are still the staples of that show. But like if those four are not on the show, like it's just not going to be the same show at all. I also saw something that they're like doing a branch off of the show through like Sony or something like that. I didn't really get into the details of it.
Yeah,
but I'm upset about it.
I wonder what Schrager and Brandt are going to do. Because Schrager, I think he's better than Brandt. I think Schrager is a great personality. Maybe he's going to Fox full time because he's done Fox. He needs his own show. Like, he does a phenomenal job. Like, in my opinion, he carries the entire show at this point. But what about shows in general? What are your top 3 favorite sports shows to watch during the week?
So at number 3, is this during the week or is this just
whenever you want?
Any sports shows?
Yeah, any sports shows.
So I'm putting number 3 is Good Morning Football.
Okay.
I love waking up and watching it. Like, it's that mix of news, but it's also entertaining. They do a lot of like segments and games and stuff like that. And it's just nice. It's something to have kind of in the background that you don't have to like really be paying attention the whole time. At number 2, I'm actually going with Sports Center with Scott Van Pelt.
Oh, that's good. I didn't think about that.
I love SVP. I love him so much. He comes on after every Monday night game, and like I normally like I'm ready to go to sleep, but like anytime during the football season, like I stay up and watch him. Yeah, he's got the bad beats. He brings a good personality to it.
Maryland guy too.
Exactly. Yeah, he films it right out of like DC, doesn't he? Yeah. So he's real close.
I think it's called Van Pelt in DC or something like that. Yeah.
So I love watching him. But number 1, I got to go Pat McAfee show.
Oh, that one's a good one. I actually left that one off.
Really?
Yeah, I did. I went Good Morning Football at number 3. I don't watch it as much as these other 2, but sometimes when I do wake up and I really need a boost in the morning and I really need something to listen to, so I'm not just quiet, like that's something that I will throw on. Like you said, it kind of died out after they lost Kay and Burleson and all those people. At number 2, I have 2 Fox Sports ones left. I love Fox. So first things first with Nick Wright, which is actually surprising because I'm not a big fan of Nick Wright. I'm not a fan of Nick Wright with basketball, but I am a big fan of Nick Wright during football because he actually does have some good takes and some realistic takes, except for when he talks about the Chiefs. But most of the time, like, they're very entertaining. I don't know if you've gave it a try yet, but they are, like, in general, like, they have the best chemistry on TV that I've seen, like, out of any sports show. And then number 1, and I watch it every single day during the football season, is Colin Cowherd's The Herd. Absolutely the best. Everybody's going to hate that pick because a lot of people shit on Colin Cowherd, but he is very entertaining in the fact that he always compares sports to real life somehow every single time. I'm like, that kind of makes sense. Like he just turns everything into a real life scenario, and it's really funny. The only thing is I hate that they got rid of Joy Taylor. Joy Taylor is actually really good at her job, and I don't like her on her own because I've tried to watch the show with just her and think it's Shady McCoy and like all those. It sucks. It's so bad. I wish she would have stayed with the Herd just because she kept Colin in check. And the guy, whoever he has now, I don't even know what his name is. A lot of people shit. Jason McIntyre, absolutely fucking terrible. He's just one of the worst personalities on TV. And actually, I have one more thing, and this one's for you. Tight end Zach Ertz signs 1-year deal with the Commanders. Is the Super Bowl back on?
Oh, 100%. Cash those plus 2,500 Super Bowl tickets right now. My honest feelings about it, I'm excited about it. He's a veteran guy. Yes, he's past his prime for sure.
He's actually a real tight end, unlike Logan Thomas.
Exactly, and he's an instant upgrade from Logan Thomas. Like he is, and I'd imagine that we're going to look for a young tight end to bring in. And if we do that this year, like in the draft, I don't really know what prospects are out there in the draft.
There's some good ones this year,
but if we're taking a quarterback at number 2, it's stamped, it's sealed, it's delivered.
I could see them moving back up into the first round.
Love
if they could get Brock Bowers.
Exactly,
that would be fucking crazy because they already have the wide receivers or offensive line, but they basically cut their entire offensive line. Remember when Krabs said last week he was like, get rid of all of them? Yep. Literally the next day, I think all of them got cut.
Yep.
So that was pretty wild.
I think if we do trade back up in the draft, we're going to go after offensive linemen, which I love as well. But I like the idea of Jaden Daniels, Brock Bowers, like
that'd be
2
crazy.
rookies coming in.
Yeah,
that'd be nuts. But
that's what the Ravens did with Lamar Jackson, and Mark Andrews. There we go. It's completely copying the Ravens scheme.
Well, that's what we said we wanted to do. That's what we said we wanted to do.
Exactly.
But, no, overall, I'm happy about it. I'm excited about it. Better than Logan Thomas.
Yeah, for sure. That's how I feel about it. He's terrible yards after the catch guy, though. He is the ultimate like possession, tight end, comfort blanket. Like he's always been that guy. Yeah. And then before we get into our game show, I finally got this bad boy. This is our fantasy football championship trophy. Peyton Leesky, shout out to him. He has had it for years since he won it. And what's funny is we have these nameplates, and I haven't updated it since 2014 and 15. And it was mine. I was actually the last nameplate on here, but the last time that I won our league was 2014. So what's that, 10 years now? Or 9 years, I guess. Yeah. So 9 years since I've gotten this trophy, and I feel really good about it. Our draft is right behind us. We will be running it back, I think, for like the 12th or 13th season. But I just want to shout out myself for getting me one of these and having it back home where it belongs.
Yeah, I kind of forgot that you even did that you had that. Like,
yeah, me too.
Because it's been with Peyton for so long. So now I'm locked in. Next season.
I'm bringing this to the draft.
I'm locked in.
And I should make people return it after or at least bring it to the draft. But then we started having people doing virtual and then it got really hard. But Peyton paid like $30 to get it shipped here. So shout out to Peyton. Yeah, exactly, for sure. All right, let's get into the game show. So the first one with off-season and free agency going on next week, which is crazy. I think it's Monday or Tuesday, the 13th. I don't know. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, one of those. Where should they sign? Let's start off with Chris Jones.
I think he should sign back with the Chiefs.
Really?
Simple as that. Yeah.
Wow, boring.
I know.
All right.
I know.
I'll go with the Cincinnati Bengals. They have one. I think they're top 5 in cap space. They need a big guy in the middle to fill that hole in their defense. They have struggled against the run, and Chris Jones would be a massive get for the Cincinnati Bengals. Where should they go? Kirk Cousins. Commanders?
I've seen a lot of talk about that.
I have seen that.
And I'm not out on it, but I'm not in on it either. But I think, to not be boring, that Kirk Cousins should go to the Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah,
that's my pick.
Yeah, that's where I put him to, Atlanta. There was talks about him already getting his family up and going to Atlanta. Really? So, yeah, I did see that.
Yeah, I've seen so many I'm sold on that video of Justin Fields. Like someone in the background said, "Are you ready to go home?" or something like that, and he's from the Atlanta area. So
you're sold on Justin Fields.
I really think it's going to happen, but I don't know. I
don't know why the Steelers would not go in on Kirk Cousins. That might be a good fit too.
Well, I saw they have no interest in Justin Fields. I think that's
the Steelers. There was also said that they had no interest in Russell Wilson, and he visited there today, I think, which I would absolutely love that.
What are they doing?
I mean, Steelers country, let's ride. Where should they go? Christian Wilkins.
So this is where I held off and said Chris Jones to stay home, because I'm thinking Christian Wilkins should go to the Cincinnati Bengals.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense. They need he's also a great pass rusher, just like Chris Jones. He's about a tier below. Chris Jones is on his own, and then it's Christian Wilkins. Actually, a surprise here. I went with the New England Patriots. He would pair very nicely with Christian Barmore, and also Gerard Mayo, defensive guy. He wants that, he wants an X factor on the defense, and to pry him away from an AFC East division rival would be a huge gift for them. So I picked the New England Patriots. Where should they go? Saquon Barkley.
Saquon should go to the Houston Texans.
Okay.
I think it is time for him to finally get into an offense that is not centered around him, and I think he would be an instant. I mean, an upgrade, obviously, but an instant impact to that Houston Texans young offense.
Yeah.
And it eventually helped C.J. Stroud, and I mean, Devin Singletary was a solid back for him last year.
But having a game changer,
but having someone like Saquon Barkley, I think you better watch out for the Texans.
Yeah, they might be
happens.
a Super Bowl favorite at that point. Also, Saquon is like I don't think people realize that Saquon is kind of like OBJ, where he is a huge star.
Yeah.
Like outside of football, like Saquon, like I looked at his Instagram followers and I'm like, holy shit! Like he's actually a really big star, especially out of Penn State. Like he was the most generational running back that we've seen in forever. I actually picked the LA Chargers here because of Greg Roman and because of Jim Harbaugh. Those two love to run the football, especially Greg Roman, and also to take some of the pressure off of Justin Fields. I think that would be I think they're actually going to run the football like at least 30 times a game. I don't know if you saw what Greg Roman said the other day, but he said the Chargers haven't had a running game like I have, and it works the first year and then it never works again. So I might put in a ticket for Justin Herbert to win MVP or Saquon if Saquon signs there. Where should they go? Calvin Ridley.
Where? For me,
he's like the best receiver available at this point.
Yeah, and that's just. I think he. I think he should go to the New York Giants. I think he's a guy that he didn't have a spectacular year this past year, and I don't think he's going to cost all that much. But the Giants need receivers left and right. So I mean, but also he's like. I feel like the Giants are just on this trend of signing these wide receivers and just throwing them out there and hoping it works. So I think he's an upgrade from that, a slight upgrade. We'll say he's above mid.
Yeah.
Is what we'll call him.
He was a wide receiver one at some point with Atlanta. Yeah. I said the Carolina Panthers, they're completely desperate for wide receiver. They basically missed out on these wide receivers who got re-signed. Mike Evans got re-signed, I think, this past week, and he got $26 million a year. So that's big for the wide receiver market because some of these mid-tier wide receivers who are on the board are going to get paid more than we initially thought. And the Panthers said last year they were going to go and trade for a wide receiver at the trade deadline when they were like 1-8 or whatever it was. So Calvin Ridley's the best on the board for Bryce Young, and they also don't have a first-round pick this year. Leonard Williams, where should he go?
I don't really know if I have a good one for this. Off the top of my head, I'd probably say the New England Patriots. I think that'd be my pick.
Yeah, that makes sense. Especially since you had Christian Wilkins going to
the Bengals.
Bengals and Chris Jones going back. I said that he should go to the Las Vegas Raiders. He would pair very well with Tyree Wilson, who is also great on the front line as well. It would make them one of the best duos in the league. And also Antonio Pierce, he's all about defense. He's all about grittiness, and he would be a perfect pairing with him as well. Where should they go? L'Jarius Sneed.
You know, I might have had a different answer a few days ago, but with the recent news, and I don't know how the fuck they'd be able to do it, the Buffalo Bills. With them losing Tre'Davious White, I know it's not even possible.
I mean, they could. They would just have to restructure everybody.
Yeah, but because I don't even know who their other cornerback is, but losing a guy like Tre'Davious White and Jordan Poyer, you need to focus on that.
Yeah.
Cornerback is such a key position in this league. If where they should go is probably there. And I still believe that they're going to, I don't know if they'll be a Super Bowl contender, but they're still going to be a playoff team for sure. So
yeah, for sure. I said the Philadelphia Eagles. It's a trade, so he got franchise tagged. He's going to get traded. There was a report today that he is going to go for a second-round pick. So Philly does have that second-round pick, and also it's outside the conference, so it would make more sense for the Chiefs to trade him outside the conference, and the Eagles really need a cornerback. They missed out on Jalen Johnson today. He got re-signed by the Chicago Bears, so he's the next available option and the best cornerback available. He's better than Jalen Johnson as well. All right, where should they go? Derrick Henry. Bring him to me. Bring him to me.
I see. I don't want to do this and give you that satisfaction, but I think he should go to the Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah,
I do. I could not imagine him and Lamar Jackson in the backfield.
Imagine.
How do you stop that?
Imagine.
And
you have a bulldozer.
Shut out Gus Edwards. He's been a phenomenal back for you guys, but imagine having a guy like Derrick Henry in that backfield.
It would be spectacular.
He's already used to running the ball fucking 30 times a game, and you guys love to run the ball. So there's just
and he won't have to carry the load 30 times a game because he's going to have a better quarterback, a better receivers, hopefully. I don't know what they're going to do there. And a better offensive line compared to Tennessee as well. Yeah, I have Derrick Henry going to Baltimore. It makes the most sense. I know that's probably not going to happen, though, because everybody is saying he's going to go there. I could see the Ravens going and getting Tony Pollard instead, which I would absolutely hate. But if the Ravens are in win-now mode, they did put 4 void years on Nelson Aguilar's contract. So that will tell you that the Ravens are going to be very aggressive in free agency if they're already putting void years on a wide receiver 3 at this point. So Derrick Henry to Baltimore, Josh Jacobs.
So this is another one that I was saving. I think he should go to the Los Angeles Chargers.
Okay.
That's why I did not send any other running backs there. Seems like Austin Eckler's on his way out.
Yeah.
Josh Jacobs is still, I think, in my opinion, one of the top 6 running backs.
Yeah, and he's great at catching the ball out of the backfield.
Exactly. And I think with Jim Harbaugh coming in, like I feel like Josh Jacobs is like he's a short, stocky running back. He's similar to like a Blake Corum almost. Yeah. Like out of any of the running backs that we have listed in the free agency so far. So Jim Harbaugh will know how to use them, and I think he'll
and
be a
Greg Roman
fit.
for sure.
Yeah.
Greg Roman for sure. Yeah, I put Josh Jacobs going to the Philadelphia Eagles. I think they're going to lose DeAndre Swift in free agency, and also the Philadelphia Eagles, I think, have around $30 to $40 million in cap space, which is kind of insane with all the contracts that they've given out. But Howie Roseman has done such a good job and not putting void years, like taking on the cap that year and having talented players come out of the draft. So I think they splurge as big at running back here to help with Jalen Hurts. Okay, last one. Where should they go? Russell Wilson.
This is a tough one.
So here's the thing about Russell Wilson. He can go to any team basically because he can sign for a minimum contract because he's getting paid by the Broncos no matter what.
Right.
So anything that he signs for, it takes off the Broncos' plate, which is kind of weird, but that's how it works.
Yeah. You know, I don't really know how this fits, but with news of the Steelers not wanting him, I think there's 2 better fits for Atlanta. I feel like the Raiders might honestly be a good option for him. They're like who they have right now. Aiden O'Connell. Like they're going in the season with him. Like why? And they saw what they had with him last year. Like he's not a bad quarterback to be honest. Like not great, but throw Russell Wilson in there. See if it was just literally the Denver system that he just wasn't his old self in, and see what he can do with the Las Vegas Raiders.
I actually had the same thing. Las Vegas Raiders. They don't have a high enough draft pick to get a quarterback this year. And also, I feel like going in with Aiden O'Connell is basically saying we're tanking. And they missed out on Jimmy Garoppolo. You can also get him very cheap. So if he doesn't work out, you can put Aiden O'Connell back in there. If he does work out, him and Devontae Adams could be a great pairing. All right, game number 2. Drafting current NFL wide receiver 2s in the NFL. So we're going to get 5 picks, and they have to be wide receiver 2s, not wide receiver 1s. And at the end, leave a comment below and let us know who won this draft. Jake, I'll let you do the honors, and I will get the first one next. So go ahead.
Do you want to do it where you get 2 picks and then?
No, we're just going to go back and forth since it's only us 2.
Okay. So I don't know which one you would consider, but I will take either one of them. Ayuk or Debo.
I'll give you Ayuk.
Ayuk. Okay, Ayuk. I'm fine with that.
Okay, Ayuk. I'll go Puka Nacua for my number 1 pick.
Okay. I am next. I'm gonna go T. Higgins here.
T. Higgins, that's a good pick. Yeah. That's a really good pick. I will go with this one's tough. I have a couple good ones on the board. I'll take Jalen Waddle because Tyreek's number 1. Yeah, I'll go with Jalen Waddle as my 202.
Okay. With my next pick, I am going to take Devontae Smith.
Devontae Smith. That one was the one that I was debating.
Yeah.
I'm fucking pissed. I was hoping that I could get back-to-back there. Okay, so how many are we at? 2, you have 3, I have 2. Let's go. Ooh. Which one do you count as a wide receiver 2? Do you count Nico Collins or do you count Tank Dell?
So I looked at a depth chart and Tank Dell is listed as a number 2. So
I get Tank Dell.
I thought I'd be able to hang on to that one for a little bit longer. Yeah. All right. So how many I have left?
You have 2 left.
2 left?
Yep.
Okay.
I have 4 on my draft board. I'm holding out 1, I'm hoping.
Yeah. So I have a list here as well. But I think I'm gonna go Chris Godwin with this pick.
Chris Godwin, he was on my board too.
Yep.
He was the highest one available. All right. For my third pick, I will go. Oh, if age is a factor in this, if we're drafting based off of age and starting a new team, if that's how we're seeing it, I'll take Jordan Addison. I'll take him with my, what's that, fourth pick?
Yeah.
I'll take him with my 4.
Damn, I had marked him off as already taken. Damn. Okay, so this is my last pick. This one is another one. It depends on who was listed at the number 2, but I'm okay with either one of them. I'm going either Jerry Jeudy or Courtland Sutton.
Okay, I will give you Jerry Jeudy on that one.
Okay.
Oh man, you left 2 good ones for me. I will go with, I'll go with Brandon Cooks, but the other person that was on my board was Tyler Lockett. So those two are close together, but I'll take Brandon Cooks just because of his production, his consistent production over the years. Like he's been a phenomenal wide receiver too. He is the definition of a wide receiver too.
Yeah. The other ones I had on here, this one was gonna be my last resort. Romeo Doubs. I also had
Romeo Doubs.
It depends because honestly, I look at Christian Kirk as the number 1.
Yeah.
But the depth chart I looked at had him as the number 2, so I was going that
route.
route.
See, that I wouldn't have given you that.
Exactly. Yeah, I think he's the number 1. Calvin Ridley's probably the 2, and then the last one was the last one. Yeah, because you just took Tyler Lockett.
Yep.
Right?
Yep. Yeah. Tyler Lockett's been one of those guys who's been a consistent wide receiver too for years. All right, game number 3. Drafting our favorite days of the year. So this can be any day of the year that you want, you can draft. And then at the end, leave a comment below and let us know who won this draft. I will go first since you got the first one on the last one. See, this one's hard. Being 101's hard. It's a lot of pressure. A lot of comments are going to be left on this one. I see a lot of people take one of these, but I'm not going to do it here. I know that you're going to take it at some point. I'm going to go the first day of the NFL season. So NFL Sunday, the first NFL Sunday of the year, not that Thursday. So the first day you get full day of football.
Okay. So this is just any day of the year,
Any day of the year. It can be holidays.
So I might actually surprise you with this one. I'm going the 4th of July.
That one's a good one.
Yeah.
So that's a little early.
I think you knew what I was, or you thought you knew what day I was going to pick. And I almost did it, but just something about 4th of July. It's warm out.
4th of July.
The thing about after Christmas is you got New Year's, and it's just like, what now? Like, especially here in Maryland, like it's cold. Summer. It's cold for another 3 to 4 months. Like it's there's just nothing after Christmas. So like 4th of July, you're already in it. You're getting hammered. Hopefully out on a boat. Watching fireworks. Like it's just vibes are good.
It's a good pick. It's a little high for me. The other one that I had that went 101 in a lot of drafts that I've seen, because I've seen a lot of people do this, last day of school. That one will be my second pick. It was just such a vibe on that last day of school. It was like so chill. Like you got to talk to all of your like teachers and get to actually know them and have a lot of fun with all of your friends and all that stuff. And then afterwards, you always had a party or something going on. So last day of school for me.
Okay. I'm going to take Christmas Day. With my next
good
pick.
one.
Yeah,
good one. You got 2 holidays.
I did. Yeah. I don't know.
This one's hard. I already got football on the board, so I'm not going to go another football day. I'll do the Friday of Memorial Day weekend. That Friday is I know a lot of people say Memorial Day just because you're off that Monday, but that Friday is such a vibe because everybody knows it's a holiday where you work. Nobody's really working. Get that first beer of the entire weekend. You know you have a 3-day weekend. Like it is such a great feeling, and it's warm out. It's like the beaches start opening, everything starts opening up for the summer. So that Friday of Memorial Day for me.
Yeah. What day is Memorial Day? Like what month is that in?
That's in
like September?
May. Memorial Day's in May.
Okay. Oh yeah, I'm tripping.
You're thinking of Labor Day.
Okay. Yeah. I was about to say I don't get to celebrate Labor Day because of being a tax accountant, so that's why. Yeah. But Memorial Day, Friday, that's a great pick.
Yeah.
Because like you said, you know what you have to look forward to, and then you already know that you're off on that Monday.
Exactly. So we're at 3, I think. I think each of us have 3.
This will be my third.
Oh yeah, because I went first. Yep.
So I am gonna go just to get it on the board because I haven't yet. I'm taking Super Bowl Sunday.
Yeah, that one's a good pick. That was
the reason I almost left it off was because after that football's done for, but it's also like the whole season has led up to this one point. And who knows what I'm gonna be feeling like if the Washington Commanders ever make it there.
Exactly. So one day it might be the greatest day of your life.
100%, and I'll be taking it 101 every day of the week.
Exactly.
But until that point, or until there's a team I can truly root for in the Super Bowl, it'll stay. I like it at my number 3 pick.
That's a good pick. Oh man, this one's hard. Do I want to go football again? I'll go football again. I'll do fantasy football draft day. That one's one of my favorite days of the year just because you get together, especially ours, because we always do ours right. You do Joe's right. Like Joe's does his amazing. So like just being able to get with all of your friends, like have some beers and feel like you're an NFL GM for one day. Like it's such a cool feeling. And like when you get your guy, like late in the draft for me last year was Tank Dell, felt like I was on top of the world.
Yeah,
so,
for sure.
Like I love that day. So I'll go with that.
Yeah, those days. So I think I'm gonna have a rule. So this year I was in 6 different fantasy football leagues. I think my rule. So I'm already in a dynasty league. I'm already locked into that one.
Yeah.
Well, 2. I honestly might get out of that Doko one.
Yeah, I'm thinking about
especially
it.
with no money involved.
Yeah. There should be.
But I think my new rule, other than that one dynasty, which I just won, so obviously I can't leave, is unless if you have a draft party, I'm not going to be in it.
That's
so
a good
I already
idea.
have, you have a draft party, Joe has a draft party, BH has a draft party. So those are my 3, and then I have the dynasty. So 4, I think is going to be my maximum. So I love that pick. It's always something I look forward to. It's always a great time. I always get fucking hammered.
Yeah, every single time.
Yeah, and
so
it's just
fun.
except for yours. Like I got pretty drunk.
Oh, next year we are.
afterwards. Yeah,
I'm celebrating next year because
True,
I won
it.
the thing. Like
Right.
I get to pass it
So
off.
maybe I'll just start pushing the shots out to everybody.
Yeah.
And I'll control the board the whole time.
be like, you're not allowed up here, Matt. Like sit down and drink.
Have a good time, Matt. Have a good time.
Exactly.
All right. So this one, it might be a little weird, but this is just something that I hold dearly. I'm going to say June 1st.
Oh,
Because
man, I fucking had that one next.
June 1st is just like the mark of the official start of summer for me.
Yeah,
I don't
me
know.
too.
So as soon as June hits, it's like, all right, it's fucking summertime, baby. Like,
Exactly.
And I don't even know when summer actually starts, but here in Maryland, like June 1st for me, it's like June until like the end of August. It's like, and even towards like midway of August, like it starts to get too hot or just like not feel like summer.
Yeah, it's like
But
a
June
perfect
1st, it's
weather.
like, this is the best fucking time of the year. Let's get after it.
And
It's
you know you
summertime.
have 3 full months of summer. I was thinking about it today because I asked Siri, I better watch what I say or it's going to pop up somewhere. When spring officially starts and it ends on June 20th. So technically summer starts on June 20th, but for me personally, it starts on June 1st. I'm the same way.
Sure.
Even Memorial Day, like I'm like, oh, we're only like a week left until summertime. All right, so for my last pick, this one I just have to just because it's late in the board and like it's still up here is New Year's Eve. Like great time. It's an excuse to get drunk. You're going into a new year. You're feeling good about yourself in some type of way. You're like, I'm going to make some New Year's resolutions that I will not follow. But, you know, you get an optimistic mind going into the new year and you feel older. That's not a great feeling. But in general, I love New Year's Eve, so I'll take that off the board.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a solid pick for your last pick of the draft. So, you know, if we weren't doing this competitively and letting the comments read it, I would have a different pick. But I'm just, this is kind of going to go... I know I've picked 3 holidays. I'm just going to take Thanksgiving. It's you got to look forward to the food, and then it's also football. Like that's such a key part of it. So I'm going to take that with my last pick. Say what you want about it, but Thanksgiving is still
it's
my
the most
second
overrated holiday for me.
Okay.
For me,
Okay.
but like I also eat like a child, so like I don't love turkey.
Yeah,
so like
yeah.
if I love like I've been watching Impractical Jokers so fucking much, and they made who is it? Q, I think his name's Q. I'm still learning the show, but it's fucking hilarious. I don't know if you've ever seen it, but you gotta watch it. They made him go onto a dating, like it's not a dating show, like it's a dating get together, like speed dating. So you go around and they basically handcuffed 2 big turkey legs onto his hands while he did this dating, and he had to eat it while being on all these dates. And I'm like, damn, that freaking turkey looks fucking phenomenal. But then when I go and eat it, I'm like, it's super fucking dry.
Yeah.
So,
No, I'm kind of there with you. Like baked turkey is mid, but I will say the deep fried turkey.
I've never had it.
Gas.
No, I never had
Gas.
deep fried.
It'll change your opinion.
That
on
sounds
turkey.
very American.
Yeah, it is. It is. Especially because you have the chance of blowing up your entire house. Like, have you seen the videos of people dropping it and it just explodes? Like, yeah. How much more American can you get?
Exactly.
Dude,
I feel like we should
house.
have that on 4th of July. Like, fried oyster, or not fried oysters, fried Oreos. Do you ever eat those on the boardwalk? Like,
I have,
honestly,
I have.
it's
But
fucking awful.
Yeah, yeah, and they fuck up my stomach so bad.
And they make you feel like you have your shirt off and makes you feel like you gained 20 pounds. Like,
Yeah.
I don't get people that eat like shit at the beach anyway, unless it's the end of the day, you're done at the beach. Like, I feel like if I lived at the beach, like, I feel like I'd lose weight just because of the fact where, like, I don't think about eating while I'm there. Maybe during the winter time, but during the summer, like, you're out in the heat, you're sweating all day, like, you're losing
The last
calories
thing I
just
wanna do
being
is
there.
eat, too, though.
Exactly. Way too high. Some other ones that were honorable mentions for me, I had birthday, Friday, Saturday, first day of vacation. Might have went that one. That one's one of the best days. Like when you land or when you get there, like stressful at first, and then you get to sit back like you did when we went to Myrtle Beach. You left at like 12 a.m.
Yeah.
and drove
Yeah.
all the way through and fell asleep on the beach.
Yep.
Wild.
Yeah, no, that was it's. I think for me, it was that moment. I'm surprised I left this one off the board because that moment of serenity that I felt when we finally got down there, and I had that first mimosa, and I knew that I had because we got down there like 8 a.m. or whatever.
Yeah, and you sent us a picture of the mimosa
Yeah,
because we were
and-
like, "Are you guys good?" And you sent a picture of it.
Yeah, like that was the official start of it. Like I was tired as fuck because I slept maybe 2 hours in the truck or whatever. But
Right.
no, that moment of serenity, knowing what I had ahead of me, and then just knowing that I was about to be hammered for the next 5 to 6 days or whatever,
Right.
just being on the beach and just doing dumb shit with my friends. Like, so I'm surprised I honestly left that one off
Yeah.
because that is a top tier feeling for sure.
I also have NFL draft day on here as well. Draft day is always a cool day because it feels like the NFL season's coming back, but then summer starts and you forget about the NFL. Like that's the best part because then when you're in summer, you're like, oh, I get to enjoy all this. Like screw the NFL. And then when it hits August, you're like, oh yeah, it's about time.
Yeah.
All right. So game number 4, I want you to guess the team based off of the grade that I give them on their skill positions. So I graded every single skill position on this team, and I want you to tell me which team you think it is. All right, so for quarterback, C+, running back 1 is B+, running back 2 is C-. Do you have anything in mind so far?
Okay, so QB is C. I'm writing this down real quick. QB is C+, running back 1 is C+,
No, running back 1 is B.
B+.
No,
Or
just B.
Okay.
Yep, running back 2 is C-.
Okay.
And then give me, you got any guesses?
So
Any teams running through your mind right now?
if I had to pick one, and is this based off of last season? Like
Yeah, all
so
this
no,
is
no, like-
no free agency,
Okay,
none of
okay.
that stuff.
Um,
Like any teams that are like going through your head?
the one that pops out to me right now is probably like Denver Broncos. Like I
Okay.
think Javonte Williams is a solid back, but I don't think you think of him that highly. But like I feel like a B is like a solid for him. But of course that's a bad pick because I don't even know who the RB2 is. So
Yeah, no, I do. Samaje Perine.
did he step in there? Okay.
I think so, yeah.
Well, I just know by you saying that it's not the Denver Broncos. So
I'll give you that
some more.
hint.
Yeah.
All right, wide receiver 1 is a B+. Wide receiver 2 is a B. Wide receiver 3 is a C. Feel like we're in school and I'm teaching you. Like, because you're like typing. This is what a teacher sounds like when you're going through all this.
This is what you look at when the teacher is lecturing.
Yeah.
Like this is that's the view that you're getting right now. All right. So wide receiver 1, B+, wide receiver 2, B, wide receiver 3 is a C.
I have more for you
Okay.
if you need more.
All right. Let me take a shot in the dark here. I just gotta start going through teams here.
You can pull up a list of all the NFL teams if you want. That might help you visualize. I tried to give you a tough one. This one's a tough one.
Yeah.
The last one that I give you might give you a really good hint. So left, I have tight end, head coach, and then I have a surprise one that might help.
Okay. It's definitely not them because you think of them very highly.
You want me to give you the rest?
Yeah, give me the rest.
Okay. Tight end is a B-. Head coach is a B-. And the jerseys are an F minus.
All right, who's got some shitty ass jerseys?
And you get one shot at this team.
Whose jerseys do you fucking hate? All right, I think. See, I don't know, because based off of the conversations we've had.
Don't just take the jerseys into account, though. It needs to match.
I know. Because I'm basing off a conversation that we had recently where I called this guy super overrated, and I think you gave me like a surprise reaction to it. So I don't know if you would put that guy at where you put him at. But I don't know. I feel like I just got to rip something. So I'm going to say the Arizona Cardinals.
Incorrect.
Damn.
It was the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Damn. I should have.
C+ for Trevor Lawrence. RB1, which is Travis Etienne. He's a B. I think that's a good, solid ranking for him. I mean, B minus. He was pretty good this season. RB2 was a C minus. I think his name is Bigsby. I looked at his stats, weren't great. I know a lot of Jacksonville Jaguars fans like him, though. They wanted him to get more carries, or maybe didn't. I couldn't remember which one. I also based that off of Colin, like our friend, so I see all of his tweets. Wide receiver 1 was Christian Kirk for me, so he's a B+.
No, I'm okay. I'm okay with the wide receiver ranking for sure.
And then tight end B-. Evan Ingram, he might be a B. It depends on the day. And head coach maybe B- at this very moment. At one point he was an A. And then obviously the jerseys are an F. Like, they're fucking terrible. Like, they are one of the worst jerseys in the NFL and worst colors.
Yeah. I don't even know if I like I think the Cardinals jerseys are just like they're all reds. They're just kind of basic.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where my mind went to. But I was just thinking, like,
I can see that here, but the wide receivers would have thrown me off on the Arizona Cardinals.
Yeah, I should have known you would have never put Marquise Brown as a B+.
Fuck no.
But like Rondale Moore, like I see where your scale is now.
Yeah.
Because like Evan Ingram, like I'm thinking like B+.
Oh, really?
Because in my mind, like Evan Ingram's probably a top 6 tight end, like behind Mark Andrews, George Kittle, Travis Kelce.
You might be right there. But I feel like there's a huge drop-off in between those guys.
Yeah.
Like, that's how I see it. Like, I see those guys as A+, like Travis Kelce. I don't even think I think it's Travis Kelce and Mark Andrews league. And then I think it goes George Kittle at 3, especially after his shitty-ass performance in the Super Bowl where he said, I'll be back for a vengeance. He did not show up for a vengeance. All right, game number 5. Drafting all-time TV shows. Let us know in the comments who won this draft. Jake, I'll let you get the 101 because I got the last one. Okay. I'm actually curious about this one because you watch a lot more TV than me. So we might get whoever we want at this point.
So my question is, are these shows that we have to have watched all the way through from start to finish?
My thing is, if you love a show that much and you want to take, no, I guess the answer is no.
But is this our opinion? Or
it's your opinion.
Our opinion, just solely.
Yeah, draft whoever you want.
Okay. So
you might get flamed if it's like a shitty one. But
I know. But all right. So 101, because I feel like a lot of these that are top tier, like you just have not seen or you just don't care about. So 101, I'm gonna take The Sopranos.
The Sopranos at number 1.
Yeah.
I'm funny enough, never have seen it.
Yeah, I figured. So I probably could have held on to that one, to be honest. But
I'm surprised you didn't go Game of Thrones. I'm really surprised you.
Well, I figured that's something I can hang on to because that's not too.
That's not getting taken off my board. Yeah, that's not on my board. Okay, this one's tough because now I've got everything in my hands that I love, but the number 1 show, and I've said it for years, is Breaking Bad. So I'll go with Breaking Bad at my 102.
See, I'm going to be honest because I've never watched Breaking Bad, but I was going to play. Yeah, never watched it.
Have you seen Ozark?
I have watched Ozark.
But you haven't watched it. I never understand. People say that all the time. They're like, I've watched Ozark, but I've never watched Breaking Bad. And I'm like, it's another level. Like, it's like involving drugs and like, it's just, it's not money laundering. It's
so the thing is like, I watched The Sopranos when I was younger. Like, my dad loved it, so I used to watch it all the time. I'm sure I've probably seen it from fucking start to finish at this time because he used to rewatch it all the time. But for some reason, like now in the modern day with the new, like with the way the quality is of like these newer shows, like I just feel weird going back and watching older shows.
Yeah,
like,
me too.
Like the visual is just not as like aesthetic.
Appealing.
Like exactly. So I think that's my problem and why I don't want to go back and like watch a show like that. But I do see a lot of people talking very highly of it, so maybe I'll give it a chance.
That's fair.
But so you guessed it, with my number 2 pick, I'm taking Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones.
Yeah,
okay.
I think it's kind of consensus, like, for a lot of people.
I need to watch it.
It's see, you're not into that type of stuff, but I still think that it's something that you can get behind.
I feel like a lot of people who aren't interested, who I would never think are interested in it, are interested in it. So maybe it's just so long. Like, I feel like it's an investment at that point. Like, it's not just watching a show. At that point. All right, so
and also the other problem with it is, like, it's something like, I know you like watching shows and stuff like that, but you kind of like having it, like, in the background.
Yeah,
like Game of Thrones is kind of a show.
Those kind of shows.
Game of Thrones is not really that show. Like, you have to, like, really be locked in from start to finish to, like, really understand what's going on, because there's so many twists and there's so many, like, just left turns out of nowhere.
Right.
So that's the only reason I think that it might not be your cup of tea, but I recommend watching it. It's probably,
maybe I'll give it a chance.
It's probably my favorite show of all time, but, like, The Sopranos is also just, like, Wide World is just, like,
right.
a
That
top
makes
tier
sense.
show.
All right, I have to take it just because it's on the board. I don't want to here. I feel like I can take it later, just because I know that you haven't watched this from start to finish. But The Office, I'll take The Office as my second pick. The greatest. It's just I don't even know what to put it in. Like, comedy, I think it's one of the greatest comedy like shows of all time. If you have dry humor. Like, the shit is so fucking funny. Like, my funniest moment is when Kevin spills the chili, his world famous chili, onto the ground. Then he tries to scrape it up with paper. It's the funniest moment ever. And I'm so mad that you or my girlfriend have never watched it from start to finish.
Yeah. And we've talked about this before. Like, I've tried watching the first season, and I think you said this, like, the first season is not as good as the rest of them.
Yeah.
And I also I think that sort of, like, dry humor just, like, doesn't always get me going.
You have to get through the first season.
Yeah.
You have to. The dry humor in the first season is not good.
Okay.
But then after that, it gets better.
Okay.
Does get
I'm
better.
gonna be honest. I'm gonna try Breaking Bad before I try The Office.
Yes.
So
1000%. Yes.
okay. So with this next one, see, I feel like I'm taking it a little too early, but I don't care because I fucking loved this show. I'm gonna take Peaky Blinders.
I've never seen that either. I've seen, dude, I'm so bad at this. I'm so bad at this game.
Yeah. No. I mean, I love.
What's it about?
So it's essentially, it's back in, like, the 30s or 40s, but it's essentially about. It actually starts out about a bunch of. Well, I can't even say that, but.
I'm scared.
Yeah, I can't because actually I didn't even realize this, but, like, what they call them is kind of a slur, and I do not want to say that, but it's about. I don't even know what fucking country they're actually in, but it's about a bunch of people that kind of run, like, a bookie almost, on, like, horse betting and stuff like that.
Oh.
And the main actor is Cillian Murphy. I don't know if you've seen any stuff with him, but he's probably my favorite actor right now. But it's wild. Like, they get involved with, like, the mafia, and, like, it's an insane show for sure. And
maybe I'll give that a try.
Yeah.
I'll put that on here.
and it's only 6 seasons, so it's kind of long, but it's also, like, it's not too long almost.
Right,
Like, it's not something that drags out. So
right. Okay, so that was your second pick, right?
third
Third
Yep.
pick. Okay. I have a lot on the board here. Just personally, I'm gonna go with You. So you've watched You. I freaking love that show. Like, I can't wait until the next season comes out. I thought it was gonna come out on Valentine's Day. Me and my girlfriend were really excited about it. Didn't happen. But it is one of the most insane, like, shows that I've ever seen. And the actor, I don't know what his name is, but he plays that role so damn good at being. I mean, it's freaking creepy on how it all works out. Like, just the twists and turns and going to different countries, and, like, it's wild. So I'll go with You there.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I think I'd be a little scared to hang out with him in real life.
Yeah, I see his TikTok and I'm like, I do not see you as, like, this
if I
fun
saw
person.
Penn Badgley, is his
Penn
name.
Ba- yeah,
if I
Penn
saw him in
Badgley.
real life, like, I would, like, walk the other way for sure.
Yeah, me too. Especially the way he wears his hat. Like, even in his TikToks, like, he wears it all the way down like this. And I'm like, okay, bro.
Yeah.
Like, a little creepy.
Yeah. Okay. So this one, it's gonna be you love
Is this
it or
one
you hate
5?
it. This is my fourth one.
Fourth. Okay.
Yeah. This is my fourth one. So you're either gonna love it or you hate it. I fucking love it, and a lot of people that are, I would say, that grew up with older siblings might love this one, but you also have to have a raunchy sense of humor. Taking South Park.
South Park. Love fucking South Park.
I'm taking South Park with my number 4.
What's funny is, I don't know if she'll like me saying that, my girlfriend is scared of those shows. Scared of like South Park, Family Guy. Like it like creeps her out. Like, you know how as a kid, like you used to watch like some of the, like I'm trying to think of one that would like creep me out as a kid, but like those older, like when you're younger, you know you're not supposed to watch it, and it's like kind of like creepy, the characters. Like I think it's grew up with her in that mind. So like I love South Park though. One of the fun, the queef, the queef episode is a top tier episode of all time, and I tried showing it to her. And the first part is when they're fucking in the doctor's room and it just starts queefing. Yeah, one of the funniest episodes. That was the first episode I've ever seen, I think. Matt Kletzky showed me that.
And the fact they just do not give a fuck. They will make fun of anything and everything.
Everything. And they have I don't know how they get away with it.
I don't either. Like every other show would be canceled immediately, and they feed off of that.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
They're like, oh, you think that's offensive? Watch this.
Yeah, for sure. Since it's still on the board here for my 4th pick, I'm gonna go Ozark. Just because it pairs so well with Breaking Bad, and I love those kind of shows. And just the way that it was produced, and it was just, to me, it's just like Breaking Bad. And I think that's why I liked it. It wasn't as good, but like it gave me the same type of, I guess, storyline as it. Yeah. So I really liked it.
I loved Ozark, so
especially
I like
during COVID. It was during COVID, and like it was such a great show to watch.
And I think I got into it late, so I was lucky enough that like I already had a few seasons to watch, so I could just binge it all the way.
Yes, exactly.
I love being able to do that. So I kind of like, I see the hype of some of these shows, but I make like a mental note of it. Like I don't immediately hop on it because then it's only get one season, and then you have to wait fucking years for the next one. It feels like.
Yeah.
So this one I'm gonna go with for hopefully a crowd favorite. I'm gonna go Stranger Things at number 5.
I didn't like it.
Really?
Not a fan.
Yeah. So it's got to be like your cup of tea sort of thing. So my honorable mention, and this is the reason I didn't pick it with my last pick, was because I just feel like they
Can I guess what it is?
Go ahead.
Outer Banks.
No, but I did. So I didn't have that on my list, but as we were talking about like having to wait for shows to come out, that popped in my head.
Yeah.
But no, I'm going to go with The Walking Dead.
The Walking Dead.
Yeah. But that's the problem is they've just like overdone it way too much. Like, and I would say, so I don't even know what it is, but maybe like the first 8 seasons of it, like phenomenal. One of the best shows I've ever watched. But then it's like, I literally got to a point where I just like was tired of like I would tune in every Sunday, and I was just like, I'm tired of watching this show anymore.
Right.
Like they've killed off all the best people, and it's the same thing. Like it's zombies. Like that's it. So.
And everybody dies in it.
Yeah.
So at that point. Okay. So for my last pick, I'm going to go with Suits. Suits was something that I fell in love with this year that I found. And it was the most that I've binged a TV show. I think I finished in like a month or 2, and I was obsessed. Like, you ever get a show where you absolutely love it and you can't wait for dinner after work because you're just going to sit down and pop it on? It was that one show, like you said, I always have it in the background. Suits was one that I was like locked into the entire time. And like, it made me think about going to lawyer school. Like, I was like, I should have been a fucking lawyer. This would have been an amazing gig. Like, what am I doing with my life? Like, I should be in a law firm, like fucking working my ass off, like making a ton of money to become partner. And just the Harvey and, oh God, I forget the other guy's name. It's been so long. But anyway, so great show. I saved a lot of these for the end because I knew that you haven't watched some of them. So it's a little bit easier of a draft because we have different tastes in that way. All right. True or false, we're going to go back to the NFL. There will be more than one great quarterback in this year's draft.
I think that is true.
True.
Jane Daniels is going to be one of them. Washington Commander, future franchise quarterback. And this other one, because we've talked about it also. Like, I don't truly believe in Caleb Williams, not because of his talent. I think he's.
So do you think he'll be one of the great quarterbacks or no? Because if not, then you got to give another one.
I know. So I think he's going to be great. Unfortunately, and it might be fucked up of me to say unfortunately because I don't like the kid's
top
attitude.
Tier hater right here.
Fuck it, I am. Yeah, I don't like the kid's attitude. I don't. Even like
he paints his nails.
Well, that's not why I hate him. But
I've seen a lot of people like say that he's undraftable because he paints his nails, which is kind of weird.
I don't know. Just for a rookie quarterback, not even a rookie quarterback yet, like for a prospect to just have so much personality, like the one thing that threw me off about is like him talking about he wants a partial ownership of whatever team that drafts him. Like, when has any fucking prospect ever said anything like that?
Yeah.
Like, that is just wild to say. So, the kid better put up or shut up. He's going to have a lot of pressure on him. Hopefully he doesn't fold. But if I'm going to be honest, I think my two quarterbacks would be Jane Daniels and Michael Penix Jr. I think Michael Penix Jr. is going to fall in this draft, and he's going to fall into a very likable situation.
Wow.
And
so no Caleb Williams on your list.
I'm not going to put him in the greats.
So you think Chicago is making a bad decision?
I think so.
Or do you think they should trade down and take one of the other quarterbacks and get a generational haul?
I don't think that they should trade Justin Fields, if I'm going to be honest. Wow. I think that Justin Fields has not had a team built around him, and I think that's what they need to focus on. Justin Fields is still young. He's shown talent. Like, he's got the talent for it, but that he just hasn't had any, like, we saw him get better when he finally had a number one wide receiver in DJ Moore.
Right.
And, like, now you need to build the offensive line. You need to build him even more solid. I mean, Darnell Mooney is their wide receiver too.
Yeah,
not
but he's
terrible.
a free agent.
Yeah, so he's going to be out of there too. So, I mean, they need to build.
They could take Marvin Harrison Jr. They could move down one pick with the Commanders. The Commanders get Caleb Williams. Be great for you because then you'll be a Caleb Williams stan.
Yeah.
And
I fucking love the kid if we draft him.
Yeah, exactly. See, there's the fandom coming in.
Yeah,
see,
I have to.
And he's going to come on this podcast after and say, "Listen, guys, I watched the film. I didn't watch any film. I fucking love Caleb Williams. I'm painting my nails next week." That's how Jake's going to come in if they get the number one pick and pick Caleb Williams.
And I feel like we're going to try for it, and we're just going to give up way too much. I really think
they are. I think they're going to.
We're going to give up way too much for it.
I think they should take Jaden Daniels. Yeah. Like, it's just the best option. I said yes as well. I think not only is Caleb Williams going to be great, I think he's a little bit overrated, like I've said, but I think he's still going to be a good quarterback in this league. I think that the Bears are really, I think their GM has done a phenomenal job so far. And for him to get Jalen Johnson back, for him to trade for Montez Sweat, for him to get the haul that he did for the first overall pick last year, I think they're going to make it pretty much impossible for any quarterback to come in and fail. So I think Caleb Williams is going to be good for Chicago. The other two, I actually have two other quarterbacks I think are going to be great. I think it's going to be Jaden Daniels and Michael Penix. I'm the same as you. I think Michael Penix is the third best quarterback in this draft. I think that he might be the second best quarterback in this draft. In all honesty, like, I think Jaden Daniels is the best, and I think Michael Penix might be number two. But just like, I'm not even throwing out a hot take here. Like, I think that those guys are. I think Jaden Daniels is more athletic than Caleb Williams, and I think that Michael Penix is a better passer. And I just am not under, like, now the GMs are saying, like, oh, Michael Penix is like jumping up draft boards because of his combine. The combine, who gives a fuck? Like, he was throwing dots in the fucking
in real games.
In real life, dude. This is the combine that we're talking about. I'm just glad that he's getting some recognition. I think that he's going to get drafted in the top 10 now, as he should. If he falls, whoever gets him is a very lucky team. All right, let's move on. We're going to do a debate session. So I'm just going to give out some conversations that have occurred over our years of lifetime that have came up, and I want to debate them with you because I feel like we're going to have different answers to these. Drums or flats for wings?
See, I'm torn on this one because I think you get more meat with drums, but I'm going flats. I have to go flats here.
I've been back and forth on this conversation for a while. I'm going to go with drums because I loved flats for like a year because I found a trick where if you push down, all the meat comes out. But that's the problem. Why the fuck should I have to push down on it and get my fingers all fucked up because of a wing when I can just pick up a drum, dip it, and I get more meat right off the bone? And I have less worries about it.
Yeah, for me, it's more the experience. I don't know. I have a.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm very
Your experience
particular.
is eating, though.
Yeah, but let's be honest here. Like when you eat wings, like you're only eating like 10 to 15 at a time. So it's like
Right.
you don't need to like have the convenience of just like. And I'm right there with you. Like I said, I believe that like drums have more meat on them and everything like that. They're more convenient. I'll agree with you there. But it's something about like flats are more crispy on the outside. They have the meat on the inside, and I don't know, like the way that I eat a flat. And this might sound like I'm a fat fuck. Like I have a very particular way. Like I bite the outside crispy piece first, tear it open, pull off the first bone, and then just go to town.
Oh, so I've never heard of that way before.
Really?
No,
Really?
I just push down on it like from the top to the bottom, so all the meat just kind of, and then I slurp it.
Gotcha.
And I'm embarrassed to eat flats though. Like it's so like out to dinner. Like it's so fucking embarrassing to like have to. You get what I'm saying? Like I don't like that. Like with drums, like I feel more sophisticated. I feel like I know what I'm eating. Yeah. I wonder what buffalo people.
I think the more controversial debate, ranch or blue cheese.
So the older that I've gotten, I've started to like blue cheese more. It's still not better than ranch.
There you go.
It's still not better than ranch. Like and whoever the hell is in Buffalo screaming at me saying blue cheese is the only way to eat your wings. Like grow the fuck up. Like ranch.
You ever had Wingstop ranch? Have you ever had
exactly.
Wingstop ranch?
Have you ever had port side
every
ranch?
Blue cheese that you've ever had in your life.
Port side ranch is the best. It's the absolute fucking best.
But like fast food wise, like Wingstop has got a phenomenal ranch.
But they have a terrible wing.
They do.
They have but their chicken sandwiches and tenders and their fries, dude. Yeah. Top tier. All right. Is cereal a soup?
No.
He didn't even pause.
Don't put that shit out there in the atmosphere.
Hear me out. What's the difference between a cereal and a soup?
What's the difference?
Yeah. What do you see the difference? You're slurping it, right? You get all the stuff in there and you can drink it at the end. It's the milk at the bottom.
Cereal is its own thing for me. Soup for me, it's got one soup. The requirements for soup is it's got to be
we have requirements.
The requirements to be considered a soup. One, it's got to be hot.
Okay.
Two,
does it?
Think of any other soup that is cold. That is
could you eat soup cold?
Depends on
would
the
it
type
bother
of soup,
you?
But yes, it would. It would 100%.
I'm not a big soup guy in general, so
I'm not either. But I'm passionate that cereal is not a soup.
I'm gonna say it is. I mean, it's the same freaking thing. It's just like
I get where you're coming from. But no. But no, it's not a soup.
You came out fire. You were pissed off. I wrote this out, and you were like, "What the fuck is he talking about?" I read it. I was ready for it. Yeah, there was no hesitation in that answer. My soup should not be sweet. Every cereal is sweet. Okay.
I want my soup to be salty. I want it to be savory. I want it to have an actual the thing that's different is like I want my soup to have like a protein, like a meat in it. I also want it to have noodles in it.
Do you like the soup from Asian restaurants or Chinese restaurants?
Yes, but I don't even like. I know it's called like miso soup or whatever, but I don't even really like. That's a drink for me almost.
Do you like mushrooms?
I love mushrooms.
So like the mushrooms in the soup, you'll eat those.
And
like miso soup. Some miso soups have it. I don't know if you've had that.
Yeah, I don't know. Really, they have tofu in it, but fuck tofu.
Mushrooms freak me out.
Really?
They look at me. There's something in mushrooms, dude. And my parents always told me this. They said that they hated mushrooms when they were young, but as you get older, you start liking them. I just will never find myself in a situation where I see it appetizing. It's like tuna. It's like gross, and it smells. Like tuna smells, not mushrooms.
I love tuna. So.
Yeah, very weird. All right, do you put water on your toothbrush before or after you put the toothpaste on?
So here's the process. You grab the toothbrush.
Yeah.
You turn on the sink. You wet the toothbrush. You put the toothpaste on. Then you brush your teeth.
No.
Yes.
See, that's where you're wrong. You do it both. So you put the water underneath the toothbrush and get it wet. You put the toothpaste on, and then you put it back underwater so it's wet on the top too.
Okay. So I don't hate that one. I hate the people that do toothpaste and then water on top of it.
Yeah, that's weird.
What is the point?
Because then it's hard-ass freaking Brussels or whatever the fuck.
So my thinking here is, look, you got wet on the bottom, the toothbrushes.
Yeah.
You got the toothpaste in the middle, already kind of wet, and then
Yeah.
you're meeting a wet mouth. So it's like wet and wet are hitting the toothpaste, you know?
I have something even better. Blow your mind. Brushing your teeth in the shower. Absolute top tier. Yeah. You probably see it. We only share one
thank
shower.
God you fixed it, because you used to have that black charcoal toothpaste and it
We
used to
use
be everywhere. But it used to be everywhere in the fucking shower. It used to piss me off.
So I fucking.
But you guys are good about it now,
Yeah,
so I appreciate that.
yeah, it got pretty. She actually got on me about that. But like the black char. Do you use black charcoal toothpaste?
I have.
Gotta
before.
try it. It gets your teeth really white, extra white. I don't know if
I've heard it's not good for your teeth though.
Yeah,
but it does get your teeth nice and white. I do know that.
for sure. And
how does that make sense?
I don't know.
Black toothpaste makes your teeth
thought the same
whiter.
thing. And then she used it, and her teeth were black. I was like, that's fucking nasty. And she like spit it all out, and her teeth were really white. I was like, I gotta try that. Super refreshing. But in the shower is like top tier. Like we have a toothbrush holder in there. It's fucking top tier. All right, crunchy or smooth peanut butter. Now this one I will fight you on.
Yeah.
Because if you fucking say the wrong thing, there is one answer, and you can't say you like the other one at all. Like there's no debate.
Well, I'm gonna hurt your feelings here then, because I used to love crunchy peanut butter. Keyword used to, but then I grew up. And now it's
when you eat a
smooth.
peanut butter and jelly sandwich, you used to put chunky ass peanut butter where you're eating soft bread, soft jelly, soft peanut butter, but then you have little crunchies in there. That doesn't make any sense.
I'm getting all the textures in there, baby.
That's not texture. That's like weird.
What is texture then? What is texture?
What's texture? But it's like it doesn't like it's all soft things and then crunchy. It's like you're trying to pull your tooth out, like trying to fucking bite through peanut butter.
I don't know why you're coming at me so hard. I said I liked smooth peanut butter now, but crunchy used to be good to me.
But the fact that you used to hurts my feelings. Like at any point,
I don't care about your feelings.
that you put that shit in your mouth hurts my fucking feelings. All right, this one. I don't know how you feel about this one because I've seen you eat both and I eat both too. Chipotle or Qdoba?
If I'm going strictly, see the problem, I'm Qdoba. Qdoba, 9 out of 10
Not
times.
even close anymore.
I would say for me, Chipotle is more convenient, but that's only because I've actually never been to an in-person Qdoba yet.
I've never ordered at a Q. I picked up at a Qdoba, but I'm scared to order because I don't know how the system's like. Like when you first went to Chipotle for the first time, it was like heart racing because you're like, what the fuck do I do? I'm the same way at Qdoba. I know what I like there when I order online, but when I get in person, I'm like, this shit sounds weird ordering like chili, crema, and like fucking jalapenos, crispy tortilla chips, But they have more options.
Right, exactly. And right there, what you were just saying is why I'm choosing Qdoba 9 times out of 10 is because their options are like limitless, especially compared to Chipotle. And also the other thing is that when you order online through DoorDash or anything like that, Chipotle will absolutely fucking hoe you every single time.
You can't even order online.
No,
I will refuse. I have paid $30 for a fucking bowl, and I got for a rat. I've got this much fucking food, and I'm pissed, and I have to try and get a refund.
And it's literally like the same way with like a burrito. Like when I go there and order in person and get a burrito, like the bitch is like the size of this, if not bigger. But then when I fucking order a burrito online, it's like the size of this fucking chapstick.
Remember when I ordered at Myrtle Beach, me, Matt Kletzky, and all them, and they gave me that
it looked like a Taco Bell,
burrito?
like fucking like quesarito or something like that.
Dude. And the option, just being able to, first of all, Chipotle needs to add jalapenos. That's like huge for me because I love jalapenos and crispy tortilla chips in there too. Like that's top tier to bring some extra flavor, some extra texture to it. Yeah. No, not the same. Literally not the same. It's like having chips in your bowl already. And it's less calories because they're little ones and you get the right amount. You know what I'm saying? And also, but the chips from Chipotle are better. The chips are top tier, man. Like,
but strictly going off, and I've actually never had a burrito from Qdoba. I'm sure it would be gas.
I didn't like it. I got it. It's actually not that good.
Strictly speaking, bowls, and that's what most people go for anyways. Qdoba's got the better bowl by far.
Yeah, for sure. When do you order a burrito, though?
Yeah.
Like when do you order one? Like do you always make? Is there like a day where you wake up where you're just like, I want a fat burrito, or is it like when you're when you don't care about what you're eating that day? Is that when you get a burrito?
Yeah, so that's it goes depending on like the season pretty much. It's whether I'm trying to cut weight or I'm trying to gain weight. If I'm trying to gain weight, then I'm going burrito every single time.
Yeah.
It's a ton more calories, but it's so much more like satisfying.
Oh my god, their tortillas are so good.
Yeah. So but yeah, that's the only time I'll get a burrito is when I'm trying to put on weight or something like that.
Right.
Because it's just and I'll even if I'm trying to cut weight and I'm just like trying to have a cheat meal or something, I'm like, fucking burrito sounds
burrito does sound
right
fire.
now.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, last one is going to be: do you sit or stand when you wipe after you poop? Once again, one answer, not hard.
Yeah, you sit.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And I'm gonna get real with y'all right now.
Do you go under or behind?
Why would you ever go from the back to the front?
Yeah.
Why? You're literally getting shit on your fucking balls. If you're a guy and if you're a girl, I mean, we know.
Can you like? I don't know. Like, I don't do that, but can't you like stop?
But what if it's a real messy one?
Yeah, that's true.
Like,
and then your hand gets all like tangled in there.
Like, imagine if you get a fucking like. Like, I just don't have the wrist mobility for that one, but two, it's morally not right to do that.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna be 100% real with you. I used to stand and wipe until like probably the 5th grade, and because I didn't know any better. And then
you were the type to pull your pants all the way down when you pee.
No, definitely not that. Definitely not that. Definitely not that. We have some friends that used to do that until
I think like Tony Rippins used to do that.
Yeah, shout out Tony Rippins. Hope you're
I don't even know where he is now. He's like one of those people that another one is Arnold. What the hell was his name?
Jason
Arnold?
Yeah.
He fell off the face of the earth too. If you guys watch this, like, shout out to you guys. I'd love to know what you guys are up to.
Yeah.
Other than that, I thought you guys fell off the face of the earth.
Yeah.
All right, next one. You have the first pick of the NFL expansion draft. So this is a full redraft of all players. You have the first overall pick. You cannot select Patrick Mahomes. Who are you taking?
This one might be a surprise, and it might be a little too early to be doing this, but I think you have to go quarterback here.
I'm guessing you're going CJ Stroud, aren't you?
Wow. Good pick there. Yeah, I'm picking CJ Stroud.
Oh, wow.
Because we've seen, like, you have to go quarterback here. You have to. Patrick Mahomes off the board. We've seen what we have in Josh Allen. Phenomenal player, but turnovers is the argument. Joe Burrow. We know how you feel about Joe Burrow.
Overrated.
Good quarterback, but we don't know exactly what the guy's got because let's be honest, like he's only had one decent season.
Let's take a look at Joe Burrow's accomplishments in the NFL. I can tell you right now, 1 Super Bowl appearance. That's all he's got. How many All-Pros, MVPs, Pro Bowls? 0.
Yeah. So at this point right now, we saw what CJ Stroud did in his rookie campaign with a rookie head coach with a very young team. I like the upside of it. He's only in his 2nd year. So at this very moment, I would take CJ Stroud with the first pick.
For me, it's easy just because it's the 2nd best quarterback in the NFL. It's Lamar Jackson. He's 20, I think he's 26 or 27 years old. He has 2 MVPs, 2 All-Pros. He's been to an AFC title game. I know the playoffs are a problem. I understand that. But if you build an offense around him like you're supposed to, he is the 2nd best quarterback in the NFL, and I would just build a speed team. I would, if we were redrafting, like I'm trying to get a big body receiver, speedy receiver, good running back that you can rely on, and we're fucking running it. Because at this point, like all the Ravens need is a big body receiver and a running back, and they might be in the Super Bowl next year. So I thought that one was an easy pick for me. I know a lot of people might take Josh Allen. It's the turnovers, man. Like listen. I understand when you're a GM, you live and die by that. I'm not the type to live and die by if I'm going to win the Super Bowl or not. It's based off if Josh Allen can throw and then if he throws an interception or not. Like, I just can't live and die by that. All right. If you had to start an NFL franchise with a backup quarterback in the NFL, who are you taking?
If I'm going to pick one, and it's tough to say because we literally just saw him all last season, but I'm going to go with Gardner Minshew. Okay. I think out of all the current backup NFL quarterbacks, he has shown the most upside, I guess, of playing quarterback. Like Wasn't great. He wasn't great, but
and he was a starter the most of them.
Yeah, exactly. So we've seen the most out of him, and like the rest of these guys, like we've seen in not very much, but also we've seen that they were not very good, and that not very much that they played. So yeah, I think Gardner Minshew would be my pick.
For me, it would be Jake Browning, just because of how he performed with the Cincinnati Bengals offense. I think he showed a lot of upside, and also I feel like he's like a Joe Burrow. Like when I watched him play, like it reminded me so much of Joe Burrow, so I would know how to build around him. Like just bringing talent all around him. Like when you have a backup quarterback and you have to build a franchise around them, like obviously you'll be able to spend more money on wide receivers. So I would just stack it with wide receivers. And I just feel like he also was one of the most accurate quarterbacks in the NFL this year. And I feel like if he got more opportunities to play, I feel like he would actually be a decent quarterback in this league. So I go with Jake Browning. If you play wide receiver in the NFL for one full entire game, you got to play every single snap, but you're guarded one-on-one against Deion Sanders, prime Deion Sanders, the entire game. How many catches and yards are you getting?
I was about to say, am I going against Deion Sanders right now?
No, prime. I'm cooking his ass.
I'm breaking the record.
Did you see the video of him and Peyton Manning like playing against each other, like as a joke? Gotta watch it so bad.
Well, I mean, the motherfucker almost lost his foot. So
yeah, he's barely got any toes left. Yeah. No, I'm not giving you that.
Okay.
Prime Deion.
Like, are we talking my prime as well, or like are we talking right now? Okay. I still think I'm going one catch for like -2 yards. Like I'm the wide receiver screen type shit. Like in my prime.
Okay, what about now?
Now, I'm not catching the ball. Like I just see. I don't know. Like I think I could get like a slant route on him. To be honest, like something unexpected though, and I need like somebody to pick him off for sure. And I'm getting like maybe like a screen pass. Like in my prime when I was my fastest and everything like that. Like there's always like a time that you could, but like if he's manning me up all game, like there's not gonna be much happening. To be honest, I was not, and I wasn't a Division I like I played D3 football, like so I don't know, like I was confident, like I'm confident in myself, but like prime Deion Sanders was a dog.
Yeah.
So,
but it depends though. Like, am I getting like first of all, no screens. Screens don't count. Anything behind the line of scrimmage does not count. I don't think I'm catching one, but if I got every single target, there's got to be one scenario where I get lucky as shit. There has to be. Like you said, slant route, like an out route. He's playing off of me, like I run a quick string. I'm probably not getting the catch, but I think I have a better chance of scoring in the NBA, in my opinion. How many points would you score in an NBA game if you played the entire game?
I'm thinking like a solid 3 points. Like I'm gonna hit a 3 at some point.
Yeah, that's what I think. I think I'm scoring 3 points.
Yeah.
At least once.
Yeah, because I'm just gonna pull it from the logo, and it's gonna cash eventually. It's gonna cash eventually. So going back to the Deion Sanders thing, like in my prime, like I was a solid. I'm like 6'3", like I'm in my prime, like my best playing, I was like 240. So I have the bigger body on Deion Sanders. Like Deion Sanders, I just looked it up, was 6'1", 195 when he played.
So you think you're big bodying him?
I'm not big bodying him. Like he's out jumping me every fucking day of the week. But like across the middle, like I think I have long enough arms that I could be able to like get at least one of those screen passes or one of those slant routes for sure. Because I had good hands. You had to give it to me.
Yeah, I had good hands.
Yeah.
But we're playing. It's Deion.
But I'm saying one. That's all I'm saying.
One.
You got to throw me a bone here.
If $10 million was on the line, you needed 3. Are you getting 3?
Am I getting every target in the game?
Well, let's say you get 10 targets. So 30%. Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
I just don't think it's. I'm being realistic here. Like I can be cocky and an asshole and say that that I could absolutely do it, but anyone can say that. Like
Like I don't think I think the NBA is a little bit easier just because it's not as much contact, and also I could shoot from the logo. Like I'm just putting up everything if I'm playing the entire game and I cannot get benched, like I'm gonna get lucky and hit one. But those fucking NBA threes are way longer than like a YMCA 3. And when I used to go to a Y and play basketball, I used to think like, man, hitting threes, like, I think I could hit one in the NBA. And then someone showed me and they're like, well, it's actually this far. And I'm like, holy fucking shit. Like, that's fucking wild. But Jake, this is called Guess the Play or guess what happens next. So I'm just going to show you either a fan or an NFL play, and I want you to guess what happens next.
Okay.
So this one, I want you to guess what the announcer says.
He gets past him. He's just going to grab that arm. Oh, boy, I don't know about that one. He gets that arm over there, but I don't think that there was much of a tug on that one.
So he said, I don't think they're getting much of a tug on that one.
I feel like the obvious. So we have the answers listed.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So I'll read them off here. So we got A, that's what she said. B, that's sus. Or C, you can't do that. You know, I feel like the obvious one would be you can't do that.
Okay.
But I want to go with one of the other ones. But I'm going to play it safe here and say you can't do that.
The answer is, let's go ahead and play it.
The kids would say that's sus.
He says that's sus. All right, number 2. Play number 2. What does this fan do next? So the answers are, let me scroll down. The answer. So I'll show you this, and the multiple choice is the fan gets hit in the head by a hot dog, loses his teeth, or gives the middle finger. So it's a Jets fan. I want you to guess what happens next.
Jets fans are furious, Tony.
That's all I can show you.
Okay. I feel like I remember seeing this one. But there's 2 answers that it could go either way. I'm gonna go with B, loses his teeth.
Let's play it.
It's the frustration, and look at, you know you're frustrated when your teeth come out.
He does lose his teeth, so that one's a dub.
But also, I felt like, I don't know if it was just like the whatever effect, Mandela effect or whatever, where I thought I remember him throwing up the finger. So,
all right, last one. This one's the hardest one.
Okay.
So this one's a fan at his home, and the multiple choice answers are A, runs through the TV, B, punches the guy behind him, or C, flips the table.
You don't throw a pass when you have Marshawn Lynch.
What was that?
You do not throw a pass at the goal line.
What does the fan do next?
You know what? With context, see, there's 2 context clues here.
Yeah, this is the Seattle Seahawks Super Bowl.
Yep. The infamous threw the ball on the 2-yard line when you have Marshawn Lynch.
There is a guy behind him.
Yep.
And then
there's a table
table
right there, but he's also talking about you don't throw the ball when you have Marshawn Lynch. So I'm going to go with A, he runs through the TV.
You are...
When you have Marshawn Lynch.
You are correct. And he took down the entire TV shelf.
And if the Seahawks would have just ran the ball like that, they'd have another Super Bowl win.
Exactly.
And the
Isn't that
Patriots
wild?
and Tom Brady and the Patriots would have one less. So.
And that means Patrick Mahomes would be closer to the GOAT. Anyway, thank you guys for listening to the Off Script Podcast. This has been a ton of fun. I hope you guys got to know a little bit more about us, about how Jake likes crunchy peanut butter for some reason, or used to like it, and also how Qdoba is better than Chipotle by miles. And we enjoyed doing this, and we will have another podcast next week to discuss all the free agency stuff. There's going to be a ton going on, and I'm super excited for it. Who are the Commanders getting? Who are you praying they get? Give me one guy before we sign off.
I've been saying it, Daniil Hunter.
And would you be super hyped?
I would be super hyped.
Okay. I'm going to go with Derrick Henry, but I really want Saquon Barkley. If the Ravens get Saquon Barkley, dude, I'm right. I was depressed as a Ravens fan. I'll be right back on top. But once again, thank you for joining me. Thank you guys for watching, and we will see you guys next week. Make sure to hit the like, subscribe, notification button to get all of our updates when we post. And you can also follow us on TikTok in the description below. Hopefully that doesn't get banned. They're actually voting on it, which is horseshit. A ton of, I don't want to get into that. But anyway, hopefully that doesn't get banned. So follow us on TikTok for all the highlights. And we appreciate you guys, and have a great rest of your week.
They know that I'm him, all of this time in the gym. Shots don't never touch the rim. They know that I'm him, got the defense overwhelmed. Do they know highlights of them? They know that I'm him. Don't believe me, check the film. Ayy, any court in any field. Ayy, yeah, I'm Hall of Fame for real.